Hope that's going, guys. I am just attempting to finish some blood crushes for my slow grow. Need to be done next Sunday. Work's been crazy and I haven't had a chance to finish them. But I thought I might just pipe in on Vince's topic since I do bat reps, and I was going to do up something a bit more formal, but I don't really have the time, so I thought I'll just crap on instead. And I briefly started watching OB's response, but didn't get too far on that either, so hopefully don't double up with too much. Battle reports, well, that's what got me into, once I started getting back into fantasy, that's what I started watching on YouTube. Mostly Malorian and Once Bitten. And then I decided I'm just going to do it myself, mainly for myself. Not that it's helped me that much. As in, I still think I'm struggling big time, but it definitely helps. Still in some regards, at least learning the rules and stuff like that. Just a few points, I guess. What do I recommend? Well, just quickly the tools. So, I just pretty much followed what Once Bitten did. There's a video out there. I guess once I publish this, I might try to find the link, but Once Bitten probably have it on his, where he goes through how he sets up bat reps. So I use Mac, just take pictures, throw it all in Keynote, and adds a few little visuals, and then just record over it. That's pretty much all I do. Doesn't take too long once you get it all down pat, I guess. Although I'd still have 3 more to go that are quite delayed. Hopefully I'll get there at some point in the next week or so. Just been flat out. That's sort of the tools I use, so Keynote, stuff like that. The camera I use is just my iPhone 6. I think it's pretty important to try to find something that takes quick photos, because it has to be quick. Otherwise, you will slow it down. I've had like one game where the guy, I could tell I was slowing it down because of it, and then I had to sort of speed it up and didn't take as many. So like in tournaments, you're just never going to take as many as you would in a casual game. What I recommend in terms of pictures, I think OB said it, and I try to do it, but once the heat starts, heat of the battle starts, sometimes I forget, but basically trying to get like an overview shot of each turn, and then just some of the action in-depth sort of close shots. But they're less as important, I think, as the as the overalls. I sometimes forget the overalls though, just because, I know, once you start playing, although it depends on the type of bat rep, I guess. If you're going for if you've done like my first few definitely were more just thematic, I had the new board done and newly painted armies and stuff, and you want to just show off that stuff, which is cool, and I think that's got its place as well. For tournament ones, though, you probably want the whole board and looking at just the action shots as well. What are the tips about? So I always have my phone just on the table over to the left, and the good thing about Android probably does it too, so don't get me wrong, but you can just swipe up on the screen and the camera's ready to go, so that way you can sort of, you don't have to keep unlocking your phone or anything like that. And I found especially with the iPhone 6, it's very quick to take pictures, where I think it was a bit slower on the older ones, which is, now it sleeps better. And I used to use a camera initially, but that's just not worth it now. Phone's got a better battery and stuff than my camera anyway. And the pictures are decent these days with your mobile phones. There's some other little tips you can do, like keeping track of turns and stuff in your photos, just putting your flash up your fingers or take a picture of a dice or something like that. Sometimes it's good to take pictures of like all the magic dice as well, even though you might not show it on the bat wrap. So you can remember. I mean, I'd take notes as well. I have a little book that I take notes. That's sort of something that I can look back on and go, what the hell was I doing? I don't know if this will show up. Let me just see. This is my pad that I just use. I don't know if that's going to be mirrored. It might be. Who knows? But like I sort of, if I throw a spell, I'll put in a square box how many dice I threw at it, and I'll just use like an acronym for the spell, and then I tick if I get it off, or maybe underline the tick if it's irresistible. If they try to spell it, I'll write theirs in a circle next to it. Likewise with a cross and a cross if it's dispelled. Something like that. Anyway, I'm still working on the exact shorthand, but just to try and get it quick. But keep that detail that you can, because, well, like it is now, I've got two bat reps that are well over a month old, which I haven't got to, so hopefully my notes will help. What else? Yeah, length. I mean, that's probably one of the first places to start. I mean, I agree. I think people were mentioning 15 minutes. 10 to 15, I reckon, is good. I mean, some of mine went well over 20, and I just think it's way too long. Again, depends on the type of report. I mean, a narrative sort of thing might be fine. But for just quick tournament reports, I think the quicker the better in a way. Also, I mean, I flash up army lists and stuff at the beginning, but sometimes I think I sort of like Once Bitten's way of just go through it on the table. I think some of the reports where you end up with minutes and minutes of it's late here. Army lists, I think sometimes you get a bit bored, you just want to see it. And most people know what the stuff is when they start seeing it on the board anyway. I mean, I don't know, it's my personal preference, but and not that I do it. I mean, mine mishmash between showing the army list and not. So I think what it is with me is I'll show the army list for my casual games because I've got the time, and I usually have the list. Whereas a tournament one, I probably don't. So I just don't, just put up what it is. But yeah, if you're new, keeping them short, I think, is better than going too long. At least if you want people to actually watch it all. What do I write here? Quick shots. Yeah, and I think, and I'm just not even close to doing this yet, but the one thing I liked about Once Bitten's is the overshots of the board, and then he's thinking through that. So what he's looking at there, what he's going to do, what he's going to try to do, what he thinks they're going to try to do to counter it. I mean, that's what you really want to see in a battle report. Obviously, you need to know what you're doing for that to happen, and that's where I fall down a bit. I found with me it's a little bit more probably of the Barnum effect, in the sense that if I actually did think something and it worked, then I'll probably remember that case, and then I'll probably will say it. Most of the time I have a plan and then it doesn't work, and then you don't mention the bat rep because you just forgot that you even had a plan. But I think if you can strive for that, I think they're the ones that make them really interesting. And yeah, I know I'm nowhere near that, but that's sort of my goal. One day I'll get there. But I think they're the ones that I think you'll see the highest rated ones and the ones that everyone loves. And that's why I think Once Bitten gets so much cred, because pretty much that's all his bat rep is mostly how he's thinking. I think that's probably what most people go for when they actually look at a bat rep. Obviously, if you can do it, using painted armies and stuff is always nice as well, and good terrain. But again, it depends if it's a tournament one or not, I guess. I like the still picture one. I don't know, it's weird. The still picture ones, I think, are easier to follow. But I don't know if you've seen like mini wargaming, sort of how they video it. I mean, it can make you a little bit dizzy, but it's also nice to hear a bit of the banter between the multiple players, which is not too bad either. So I don't know. I mean, I think with mine, what I'd like to try, I think Alaska Wargaming do this too, where you've got, after the game, you actually got both players there doing the bat rep. I think that'd be pretty cool. I need to try and get some of my local guys who do it to talk up on my ones when I play them, maybe. Because then you get both sides of the story. Because undoubtedly mine is from my side, as you would expect. But anyway, I don't know, it's probably a bit of a boring video to listen to for this, but because I'm just painting. But I thought might as well put it out there since I do bat wraps. Yeah, that's about it, I think. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to mine, have a look. If you're on this, then you probably are, so it doesn't matter. And any tips for me, certainly leave them. Especially if they're tips about actually how to play the game, so I can finally get some wins. So I swear, the more I play this game, the less I win. Maybe it's overthinking it. It probably is. But anyway, yeah. I'm going to finish this up and keep painting it and hopefully get these guys done. I'll catch you next time.